One of the interactive features in Schoology is something called assignments, and assignments allow students to interact with your Schoology course by submitting something that they have saved digitally. So to create an assignment, what you're first going to do is find a spot in your course where you're going to include this assignment. So keep in mind, if you have folders set up, you do want to make sure that the assignment goes into the folder. So for example, let's say I want to create an assignment that's going to go into week of September 28th. In order to ensure that that assignment is going to go into that folder, what I'm going to do is click on this caret next to the folder, and then I'm going to bring my cursor just below the words of week of September 28th so I get that green dotted line. And when I click on that green dotted line, it now allows me to insert that particular assignment exactly where I want it to go. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Add an Assignment, and as this loads, just as a side note, this video is going to demonstrate how to use the assignment feature that is native to Schoology. This is not going to demonstrate how to use the OneDrive assignments feature, which you can see in another video. So what we need to include in here is some basic information about the assignment, including a name. Anything with an asterisk needs to be included, including category. Factor you can leave here if you want to change these scale from numeric to a rubric, you can do that as well. A due date is going to be very important so that it appears in your student calendar and also shows up in their list of reminders. And then while this is not require the description, this is going to be very important for what you want the students to actually do. So what we're going to do is we're going to put in a name for this assignment, and this is going to be research paper submissions. So you can see here I have added some instructions for the students that once they have completed their research paper and it has been peer reviewed and they have edited it, they're going to submit it here. If this is the first time that your students are using this, or they're not used to using this assignment feature where they're going to be submitting something, it might be helpful to include some instructions on the submission process or to demonstrate it to them. So I have included that here where they're going to be clicking on the Submit Assignment button to the right. The new window, they're going to click the Upload button and select the paper icon beneath. They'll navigate to their saved research paper, select it, and then they will click Submit. So I have my instructions here. I have given them some additional information. If I wanted to, I could also attach a file. So if you did have a worksheet or something of that nature that you wanted the students to work on and save to their computer and then submit, you could attach that here. You could also include hyperlinks, and you have the same ability as you do in other materials in Schoology where you can embed images and you can embed videos if you needed to include additional information about this particular assignment. I'm going to select a due date, and again, this is going to be important so that it shows up on the student calendar as well as in their reminders. And if you are going to be grading this, you can change the point value. It would default always to 100. You can change that here. Category. I'm going to create a category since I don't happen to have one for this particular course, and I'm just going to call this assignments. And then down here, I'm going to leave pretty much everything else. And then what I'm going to do is click Create. Now, the one thing when you create an assignment in your Schoology course, you're not really going to be able to view what the process looks like from a student standpoint. So I am going to hop on over as one of my test students in this course so you can see exactly what the submission process is going to look like on the student end, and then what it's going to look like on your end as students submit it and how you're going to be able to view that. So now we are looking at this course as a student so that we can see what the student process is going to look like for submitting this particular assignment. You can see, by the way, on the right-hand side on this students panel, they can see that they have now an alert that there is a research paper that is due, and it will give them the date and the time. So that was because we did include a due date on this particular assignment. So we're going to go into the folder where the assignment is as a student, and we're going to click on it. And we are going to get the basic instructions here when you have completed the final draft, etc., etc. Here are the instructions on submitting. So they know they have to click the Submit Assignment button on the right and then follow the rest of these instructions. So the student is going to click Submit Assignment, and then they're going to navigate to the saved location of their file, if that is what is being asked. So in this case, under the Upload tab, which is the default, they will click on this little button here that says File, and this is going to open up the Windows Explorer so that they can view anything that has been saved to their computer. In our case, the students are saving to OneDrive, and then they're going to look for their assignment. So here is their research paper, The History of Central Park, and we're going to click Open. So the document is here. You can see the full name is here. If the student needed to add any comments to this, they could add a comment to that. And then all they need to do is click Submit, and they will get a verification over here that it has been submitted. If they want to, they can resubmit the assignment up until the due date. So if there were any changes that needed to be made and they accidentally submitted it too early, they could resubmit the assignment. Now we're going to pop back over to the teacher view. And the teacher view, we're going to go back over to the course. You will get a notification in your notification bar that somebody has submitted something. You will also have reminders of ungraded assignments. You can get it there. You can also start grading this just by going back to the assignment itself. So if I click back on this research paper submission, you can see here now on the right-hand side, I will get a list of anybody who has submitted, and I will get a notification if I have not looked at it yet and I have not graded it yet. So I'm going to click on that particular student's assignment, and I will see a preview in here in the web browser. And I can use some of the annotation tools that are available to me if I wanted to leave comments directly on here. I could do that as well. I have the ability over here to grade, and I also have the ability to add a comment. And I can put Show Student as well. If you needed the student to resubmit it, what you could do is download a copy of it and attach it so that with any of your changes, but you could just make a comment in the comment box, and they would have to go back to the assignment and look to see those particular comments. So then I will click Submit, and now this has been graded. So if I come back over on the student view and I refresh this, be able to see my grade. If I come over to grades, and I can see my grade here as well. But if I come over to grades, this is another place where students can actually see the grades of any of the assignments that they have completed and have been graded already. So I can see the comment my teacher left, and I can also see my grade. And that's another way that the students can view their work. So that was a roundabout way of showing you how to create an assignment. So you know how to create the assignment, you know what it's going to look like from the student standpoint, and you know now how you can grade this and what it's going to look like on your end when it's time to grade that assignment.